Robi Coker, basketball coach, Plainview High School.
Coach, first of all, it's a real pleasure getting to sit in with you. We're from Gadsden, obviously, but no matter where you go in the state of Alabama, when people hear or say the words Plainview, they immediately think of dominant basketball. But not only that, it's a type of brand that you've built here at Plainview. What does that mean to you personally when you know that you have that reputation all over the state?
You know, I think it's our guys' reputation. Obviously, we challenge our guys to play to a standard every time out. And I really believe that when you come to the gym, there's a couple things you expect of Plainview. One of those things, they're going to play extremely hard. They're going to be unselfish, and they're going to do things the right way. And our guys have been able to develop that reputation through their work and through their dedication and how they carry themselves on and off the court.
That's awesome. You always play up in your non-area games when you schedule, like, early into the season. With the reputation you guys carry and the success you've had, have you found it harder to get people to actually schedule you?
Scheduling obviously creates some headaches. A lot of it is that guys now are scheduling earlier every year, and because we've been in the back-to-back state finals, it seems like we're behind and we're always trying to fill our dates. Then you put on the fact that the players that we've had and the success we've had, it takes a certain individual that's willing to play us. There's so much in today's world about instant success, and coaches now face stresses about winning and losing, even in high school athletics. So now everyone's trying to schedule to get better, but also to please their fan base.
Right.
So it definitely have presented us several obstacles the last few years.
I believe that. Who is a coach that you faced that you were really impressed by? Somebody you may have went back and watched film and was like, man, that guy's really got it going on.
There's several guys that come to mind, especially as watching basketball as a high school basketball fan. But this year, preparing for Andy Blackson at Madison Academy does a phenomenal job. You're going to know where your team stands after that game. He's going to find a way to take advantage of mismatches. He's going to find a way to take advantage of certain ways you guard things. And then offensively, he's going to put you in a bind and make you pick what you take away. And we really enjoy playing those guys. We put them the first game of the season this year. Next year we're going to play them in early December. I always think it's a great gauge to see what he's seen on tape, what we're not very good at, because he's going to exploit that, and it makes us better moving forward.
Awesome. Let's talk about your time at Ole Miss with Andy Kennedy. You guys are still remain close friends even to this day. Can you talk about your relationship with Coach Kennedy and what that's meant for your career?
Sure. AK's a man's man. He was really good to me, hired me at a young age, gave me an opportunity to work. He tells the joke they hired a video guy that didn't know how to turn on a DVD player, but that's not true. But it makes for a great story. And he just he really taught me a couple things. It really goes beyond basketball. His number one thing was never settling. Don't settle. A lot of times as human beings, we settle for what's easy. Really push yourself.
That's true.
Get out of your comfort zone. Try to get better. And then basketball-wise, he's so good offensively, man. He can figure out a way to score against anything. Defensively does a great job of keeping people off balance. It was just really good for me to see, be there for 5 years and be able to see how he ran a program, how he coached guys differently, how he dealt with administration, how he scheduled, just the various aspects of running a basketball program. It was very, very rewarding,
awesome.
But it was also very informative for me and helped me as a coach moving forward.
Awesome. Where would we find you on an off day with no coaching involved, nothing on your schedule, and what would you be doing? What's your getaway?
I live on my back porch. We've got a screened-in back porch, and this time of year it's a great place to be. Hearing the water run. If not, we live on a little small pond, and maybe out back with some live worms, catching brim and little panfish for my kids.
Awesome. Who's your biggest inspiration growing up? Could be a coach, family member, a player.
It was my dad. There's no doubt. My dad was a guy that I talk in past tense, but my dad, he's 75 now. Find some health issues, but my dad was a guy that went the extra mile to help people. Was very, very instrumental in our community. Really loved kids. Coached the league baseball. Was a local sports writer. Covered Crossville and Geraldine for the Weekly Post and the Semi Reporter. Just a guy that loved giving people recognition and giving other guys credit. And then you guys know, probably you grew up around here, that the local slow pitch softball scene back in the 80s was huge.
Yes.
And my dad knows those guys had a team, and he just brought me up around men of character and competitive people.
Awesome.
And it really, probably the reason I'm a coach today is because of my dad's influence.
Awesome. Who's the best basketball player you've ever coached against? Someone you really had trouble stopping?
Ooh, if you remember Kobe Bradley last year in the state finals, there was no stopping him. I think he went for 44. We were hoping he'd get tired. We just want him to shoot as many times as he could. Hopefully he'd get tired and wear it down. But, no, that's a great question. There's been a lot of guys that we've had trouble stopping. Kobe Bradley, obviously, going for 44 comes to mind. This year, Jalen Forbes at Florence, Mississippi, that signed with Alabama, the shooter. He gave us about 18 in the second half. Those guys that you know, when it leaves their hand, it's going in. They make for sleepless nights.
What do you think is the biggest difference in basketball today than when someone such as you or I played?
Well, it's the open floor concept. You know, you watch us play. We've got 5 guards on the floor at all times. So many people have went away from your traditional post player. You know, the floor is more spread. Obviously, the importance of the three-point line. Back in our day, you know, not a lot of people shot a lot of those threes, and now we average over 30 a game. I just think you see the game's evolving. Everybody on the floor can dribble, pass, or shoot now. You know, the traditional post player, or the lack of, has really changed the game.
Absolutely. On that note, you know, speaking of this generation and evolving, what do you specifically do to keep the attention of your players with so many distractions, such as cell phones, reading newspapers, video games? How do you handle that?
It's a fight we fight every day. It's something that we worry about moving forward. You know, I don't think it's, you know, I think it's going to get worse and worse. The main thing we try to do is we try not to waste their time. You know, we try to, when we're at the gym or we're on the court, it's going to be full speed. I'm going to let you know it's going to be 2 hours or 2.5 or whatever the case may be. And we really try to focus on getting them in and getting them out. You know, we don't try to get very redundant with things. We try to move fast-paced, drill to drill. I think today's generation, like you said, they take stuff in such small bits, and you have to keep them moving, and you have to keep them focused by limiting your time in certain areas.
Awesome. All right, now we want to get to ask you some personal questions to get to know you a little bit better. You can answer these kind of rapid fire if you can. Favorite basketball movie ever?
My Man Can't Jump.
Nice. Favorite band or group ever?
I grew up in the 80s. I'm going to go Guns N' Roses.
Nice. Favorite vacation destination?
Or you're going to find us at the beach somewhere.
Favorite food ever?
I'm a steak and potato guy.
Favorite athlete of all time?
Michael Jordan.
Favorite coach of all time?
Ooh. It's got to be Barry Bryant. I grew up on those parables like most people in Alabama did.
All right. What's your dream car?
Ooh, dream car. I'm not a big car guy. It's crazy you say that. I don't know. That's a great question. I would say, let's go Tesla. That's where everybody's going now.
All right.
No gas. Gas tax. Let's fight that.
If we had a DeLorean right now with Michael J. Fox navigating, what period of time would you go to in the future or in the past, and why?
I'm going back to the 80s.
Like it?
Go to a big concert, you know, Guns N' Roses, Kiss maybe.
Awesome.
Poison, something like that.
All right, Coach, walk us through a typical off-season for your program, briefly, of what that looks like in the off-season. I know you guys probably don't have a true off-season.
You know, it's with multiple sport athletes, small school. Right now, a lot of our guys are in baseball. Then we'll go to spring football. Once spring football's over, we'll call them in. You know, the state gives us 5 days to do an evaluating period. We'll start getting after it. The guys that don't play other sports right now are running and conditioning and doing a lot of box jumps, jump rope, and a lot of lifting. You know, we're real big on the 3-quarter lifts. We do that a lot. And then once, like I said, football's over, we'll get our 5 days. And then we'll really hit July hard. We treat July like it's November.
Awesome.
We're going to play Monday, Wednesday, Friday for 3 weeks. We're going to practice the other 2 days, and we really try to cram in 20, 25 games and 10 practices in June.
Awesome. All right. When we look back at your career here at Plainview, say 20, 30 years from now, what do you hope people say about this program you built?
I hope it's been an enjoyable ride. You know, obviously we put a lot of time and effort into it, but I hope that everybody's had a great time on the journey. You know, a lot of times we get caught up in where we're going instead of just enjoying the journey. I hope we look back in 20, 25 years and we're like, what a great time we had.
Awesome.
And I hope we produced a lot of good men that are out in the community, being productive citizens.
That's awesome. Lastly, Coach, what do you want these young men to take away from being coached by you to carry over into their day-to-day lives?
I hope they take that hard work pays off. I think that you realize they put a lot of work to get to be the players they are, and because of the work they put in, that's the reason they were successful. I hope they take that if they do things the right way and they work hard, good things will happen. And then being unselfish, I think it's a trait in this culture we live in today that goes unnoticed. Maybe we lack a little bit, and I hope they realize that if you sacrifice and if you're willing to make the right play, that the whole team can benefit from it. And I hope that they realize that that we live in a world that's not about me or I, it's about us, and I hope that their unselfishness continues to shine.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Coach.